Rockville's claims to fame during the Civil War was hosting Confederate General Jeb Stuart as he headed to meet General Robert E. Lee in Pennsylvania. At that time, many in Montgomery County sympathized with the Confederacy. Having this notorious rebel in their midst was quite an honor. Some speculate that Stuart's stopover here may have affected the outcome at Gettysburg. According to a letter written by Union sympathizer Dora Higgins, General Stuart rode into town with 5,000 troops. While here, they helped themselves to supplies, arrested Union sympathizers, and caroused with the residents. To bring these events to life, Peerless Rockville sponsored a weekend of living history on June 14th and 15th. Behind me is the culminating event of this commemoration, a reenactment of some of the interactions between Rockville residents and the famous general. Let's watch.
Is Mr. Dawson here?
Yeah.
Is Judge Bowie here?
I'm ready.
Lieutenant Wilkes, do you have the list? I have forgotten the name.
Mr. Higgins, come out, play. Gentlemen, precede us, please.
You can't take my daddy!
During the day, the rebels brought in 600 prisoners, colored men, soldiers, and citizens, and put them in the courthouse. I thought verily they would tear the whole of the inside of the courthouse. Their yells were terrific on each fresh arrival of prisoners.
What you saw today was just part of General Stuart's, Confederate General Stuart's route to Gettysburg to catch up with the Army of Northern Virginia, which was already in Pennsylvania. After crossing at Rouser's Ford, which he was forced to do because he couldn't pass behind the Union Army, or he did pass behind the Union Army. But after crossing Rouser's Ford, the route via Rockville to Pennsylvania was the most direct route that he could choose. And while he was in Rockville, he took the opportunity to gather up the wagon train and as many other horses and things as he could, and entertain himself as well as he could for the short 4 hours that he was in Rockville.
Writer and historian Charles Jacobs has studied Civil War activities in Montgomery County.
In my opinion, the majority of the citizens of Rockville were pro-South. And like the girls in the Female Academy, they would have been happy to see him here without thinking of the long term. But for the short term, to have these Confederates ride into town was very impressive, and they would have loved to see it because many of the people here had sons in the Confederate Army. And to them, to have General Stuart, riding into town with all of his troopers would have been a glorious feeling that here, my gosh, my kid's in this army, and here are some representatives from that army. So I would say that he was well received by most, but not all.